So you've probably heard of a very popular Spanish dish called paella, but here in England we've got something completely different called paella. Funnily enough, they have very similar names, ingredients and cooking methods, but it's important to remember that they're totally different. So to anyone watching from Spain, please don't get angry with me over this video, okay? Okay, great, thanks, enjoy. Hey guys, just quickly, have you ever watched a great cooking video online but then never got around to actually making the recipe yourself? Yes? Maybe the recipe requires an ingredient you can't get hold of, or you just plain forgot when you're at the supermarket. Well, problem solved. I'm partnering with a new company called Screen to Plate. It's a UK based startup by these handsome devils, Tom and Will. They liked my videos so much that they wanted to give you guys the opportunity to buy them as meal kits. You just go on their website, click on your favorite creator, me obviously, choose the meal kit you'd like, and then the ingredients and the instructions are sent straight to your door. Oh look, it's Tom from Screen to Plate. Thanks for the meal kit, Tom. So all you gotta do is unpack all of the precisely measured ingredients, cook everything up using their easy to follow instructions, and you can enjoy your super tasty and freshly cooked meals without even having to leave your house. Winning! Alright, so we're going to need some onions, finely chopped, some garlic, minced or finely diced, and a pepper. Just take his head and his feet off, rip out his innards, chop him in half like that, take out the pithy bits, chop into little sticks, and chop up his head and his feet. Then I'm going to prepare some vegetable stock. I'm using one of these little stock pot thingies in there, hot water, mix, and then some paella rice. Now, if you can't find paella rice, you can try risotto rice. They're both short grain rice and contain a lot of starch. The main difference is actually in the cooking method. With paella, there's no stirring, so the starch stays inside the rice. With risotto, there's lots of stirring which releases the starch to make the risotto sauce itself. So you can use risotto rice in a paella, just don't stir and you'll be fine, and also don't tell Spain or Italy because they might get upset and say mean things to you. Great, so I am using a meat substitute here, chicken style strips. They look alright. Just fry those up for a few minutes until lightly browned and then put them to one side while you cook the main dish. You could also try frying up some of my pepperoni for a few minutes, set that aside, or perhaps some portobello mushroom slices, bit of smoked paprika on there, a few minutes in the pan and then set aside. Or you could try adding my tofu chicken pieces which you prepare in the oven and add to the paella later. Anyway, a bit more oil in the pan, in goes the onion, the garlic and the pepper. Fry those for around 3 to 5 minutes or until the onions have softened up a little. Then add in the rice, the smoked paprika and the turmeric. Keep frying and mixing for a couple of minutes until everything is evenly mixed. It's actually traditional to use saffron here, but apparently it's the 15th most expensive substance in the world by weight, so I'm using turmeric instead just to give the paella its distinctive colour. Add in the vegetable stock and give it a good stir until everything is evenly spread. Bring it to a boil like this for 10 minutes and now you have a decision to make. So as we know, you're not supposed to stir a paella. Not stirring it means that all of the fats and the oils settle on the bottom of the pan and form a caramelized crispy layer called a socarrat.
Socarrat.
Thank you, Mr. Spanish man. I can't say that word properly. So if you want a
socarrat,
just don't stir the paella from this point. However, there is a small risk that you will burn your bottom. If you don't want to risk burning your bottom, just stir the paella every few minutes. Be warned though, this will release the starch from the rice and you'll have a kind of paella risotto, which is fine, but you'll be missing out on the very tasty
socarrat,
which is arguably the best part of the whole dish. After the 10 minutes is up, reduce the heat a little until you can just see a small bubble here and there. Now this is where we add the chicken style bits to the pan, or the pepperoni, the portobello mushrooms, or the tofu bits depending on what you're using. Then some fresh or frozen peas spread evenly and a handful of baby tomatoes chopped in half. Just press those into the rice a little bit, being careful not to disturb the rice too much. Then cover loosely with a baking tray or some overexposed kitchen foil or a lid if you have one, and leave that for another 8 to 10 minutes. Now after about 8 minutes, I like to check to see how our
socarrat
is doing. So we want there to be almost no liquid left. Just use a spoon to move the rice aside so we can see. Now let's have a good close look at my bottom. Okay, can you see there the little brown caramelized bits all over my bottom? That right there is a
socarrat.
Creo que tengo un muy buen socarrat. Perdón a España por el acento terrible. Ignórame, soy un estúpido YouTuber en inglés. So the
socarrat
is looking good. Cover my bottom with rice. I'm going to let this cook for 1 more minute just to be sure, then take it off the heat and cover it again for around 5 minutes to allow the rice to absorb the last of that liquid. And that's our finished paella. Oh my goodness, it looks so pretty. So I'm using a spatula here to get right under everything. Alright, moment of truth. How's it look? Wait, now that's what I call a successful socarrat. Beautifully browned and caramelized, high five to me. Now, if you don't get this right the first time, don't worry. Here's one I made before, which I overcooked just a little bit, and here's one that I didn't quite cook for long enough. It wasn't until I learned the trick with the spoon that I actually managed to start getting this right. And yeah, now I'm perfecto. Cool, so get a bit more paella on there, quick little rim job there, lovely. Sprinkle with some flat leaf parsley, some optional lemon wedges if you like, and some lightly toasted bread, which you don't really need, I just thought it would look cool. And there we go, vegan paella. It's one of those dishes which seems so simple, but is somehow unbelievably delicious. Oh, and word of warning, if you ever serve this to a Spanish person, you might just want to call it rice and veggies, not a paella. Otherwise they might socarrat you where the sun don't shine. And yeah, if you want to take the easy option, you can just order this as a meal kit from Screen to Plate and have everything delivered straight to your door. We've all been working really hard to get these recipes and meal kits as amazing as they can possibly be for you guys. It's convenient, it's a bit of fun, and you'll be helping out a couple of fledgling independent businesses. There's £10 off your first order at the moment, so it's definitely worth a try. And yeah, if you buy one, please do get in touch. We'd really love to hear how it went. Adios, muchachos.